Hi, Schlockmeisters fans. A re-review from my previous channel. This one's called Flesh and Blood. Rutger Hauer and Jennifer Jason Leigh. Or is it Flesh Plus Blood? Let's check it out.
Let's drink!
We are in Western Europe, 1501. That's a pregnant Susan Tyrrell. This is Stephen on the right. He's a scholar, son of the king. He's built a bomb. But the dude lights the fuse too soon, and the city that they're trying to attack, or actually win back. Anyway, they storm the city with conventional means.
Stephen, stay right here with Father George. Why? Fighting is for pay.
They win back the town, but the king refuses to pay.
You promised them, did you not?
That was before the battle to spur them on.
Rutger Hauer as Martin, the leader of the Marauders.
What have you been doing there? I'm a soldier. He promised the loot was going to be ours.
Change his mind. He has decided to keep it for himself, Martin.
Get to the side!
So they all leave. They happen to find this saint statue buried. It's Saint Martin. And they're going to follow it whatever way it points. It's a sign.
God will see to that. This statue is a sign that he will share his fortune with us.
What do you...
The bastards who cheated us will pay. We'll grab them by the balls and squeeze out every penny they've got. That's how we get rich. My son, Stephen.
This is Agnes, Jennifer Jason Leigh. He's supposed to be the bride for Stephen. She's got a big dowry and they've never met. On their way back, they meet some passing monks. Those monks look a little familiar. They begin to attack. They end up getting all their stuff. The king is injured. And unbeknownst to them, Agnes is hiding in the back. Later on that evening, Martin discovers her. Where Martin promptly assaults her. But she likes it.
I'll take you. I'll take you.
Stephen decides to go after Agnes, but Agnes decided to take up with Martin and his group. As they push on, they end up at a small castle or...
Pointing to a castle.
In order to take that castle, they gotta overtake the people inside of it, which they seem to dispatch of pretty quickly.
Get your bony ass out of here. You belong in the kitchen, not with us. I'm one of you now.
Fans of celebrity nudity will not want to miss this scene with Jennifer Jason Leigh. I wish I could show all of it to you.
You think that's so easy?
Stephen arrives with his men. They track them down.
If you hurt Agnes,
Oh, we heard her day and night, man!
go home, Steve.
She tossed a piece of fruit down to him, though, with her necklace in it, so maybe she's torn between the two. She compares the men.
He's you. Only younger.
Then you must love it.
Stephen attacks with his giant tank thing. And as he's climbing in with this big ladder thing, Martin turns the tables on him by using that bomb against him. But Stephen survived.
Come on, Stephen. Give it to me, please. Hurry, please.
They're not very nice to Stephen. Stephen's men on the outside start tossing over the carcass of a dead dog. But why? Stephen knows.
That dog was in my camp. So what? I saw him lick up unclean blood. He must have died of it. It's the plague.
Stephen finds one piece of meat left, tosses it in the well.
Or not. Time to choose, Agnes.
The next day, everybody's drinking up. Agnes knows what's in that water. The group takes out their frustrations on Martin
Drown him in his own poison.
and toss him down the well. He has the key with him, though, and they make a deal. Meanwhile, the group is getting sick. Some of them are.
With us?
Yes, me.
Cars. Come on, I've got enough for the both of us. She's dying, so.
Stephen gets a hold of a cross. Nice toss. And now Martin can crawl out. He promised to let out Stephen then, but
No, come back! God damn it, where are you going?
Dead, sir.
our king has arrived.
No. He is alive and well.
Science. Stephen lets his men in the gate, and then he goes after Martin, who is choking Agnes to death. Unless Stephen can stop him, which he does. As they're about to leave, she looks back and notices Martin's not dead. And that's our movie. All right, let's talk about 1985's Flesh and Blood, or Flesh Plus Blood. Stars Rutger Hauer, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Bruno Kirby's in this one. Susan Tyrrell. It's directed by, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, Paul Verhoeven, I don't know. Never known how to pronounce his name because I've never heard it pronounced. But he did a lot of movies. Worked with Rutger Hauer 5 times. In fact, this was the last time they got together because apparently they had a lot of arguments on the set of this, and they kind of didn't talk for quite a few years after that. But anyway, the movie itself takes place in Western Europe, Middle Ages, 1501, I guess, is when this took place, right around the time of the Black Plague. I don't know if I didn't look up to see if that was historically accurate, but whatever. And there's this group of marauders who are, I guess, hired by this king or whatever to retake the king's city, I guess. And but the king decides to renege on his plan for payment after that, and just cast them all out. So they're pissed off. This group led by Martin, there's about maybe 15 of them or so. They decide to get revenge by attacking the king and his son and some of his people when they're passing by. They steal their carts or whatever, their horse and buggy, whatever it is. And they end up taking Jennifer Jason Leigh, who was the betrothed to the son of the king, Stephen. And they don't realize they even have her, but they have her in the back of this thing, and they take her. And then she's supposed to be like a virgin, I guess. And then they're going to take turns raping her, which Martin does. But she ends up liking it. She likes, like, I can take you. And then she wraps her legs around him. She like turns a whole power move onto him. Seems a little bit unlikely, but whatever. And then the two of them kind of become a couple. And she kind of takes up with this group. Then, well, Stephen decides he's going to go chase after her, try to rescue her, that sort of thing. Eventually, Stephen is able to. Stephen's like almost like a scientist guy. He's very. He's gone to college. He knows a lot of stuff. He devises a plan to break into this castle where Martin and his people are living now. And he gets in there, but Martin turns a table and blows up their big tank thing that they had. And Stephen falls inside the castle gates, end up capturing him. and basically torturing him a little bit. They shoot an arrow into him, chain him up in the yard. Meanwhile, Martin keeps flaunting that he has Agnes the whole time. Agnes seems to be torn between Martin and Stephen. Which one does she want? But she ends up going off with Martin. Well, suddenly the people outside the castle gate, who are some of Stephen's men, toss over parts of a dead dog, a carcass. Turns out this dog had been drinking some water that was contaminated by the Black Plague. Stephen warns them, don't drink, don't touch that meat, otherwise you're all going to get the plague. So they decide, well, let's burn the carcass, burn our clothes, we'll be fine. But then Stephen finds a piece of the carcass nearby, tosses it in the well, so that they're going to be drinking this stuff. And that's exactly what happens. A lot of them drink the well water. Agnes prevents Martin from drinking it because she actually saw him toss the meat, the carcass. Anyway, a bunch of them get sick. They decide they got to leave that place. They get mad at Martin. They toss him down the well. Eventually, Stephen is able to get Martin out by tossing this cross in this bucket. The bucket came down. He was able to crawl himself out. But then he refused to give the key to let Stephen out. Broke his word on that. Stephen is eventually able to get out by using electricity from some lightning. Very Benjamin Franklin of him. Meanwhile, Stephen's father, the king, and I think he's the king actually, and his men have come. They're breaking into the castle at the same time. There's a final standoff between Stephen and Martin, which Stephen wins with the help of Agnes, who hits Martin in the head with this vase full of wine or something. As Stephen and Agnes are leaving, they look back at the castle, and Agnes sees that Martin has lived, he's escaped, and he's leaving. End of story. So anyway, that is Flesh Plus Blood, which I taped this on a tape back around 1986 or so off of cable. I had it on the same tape with Enemy Mine on a beta tape. I don't know if I ever really watched it at the time, but I've seen it since then a couple times, and I think it's a really good movie. It's dirty and yucky and grimy, but it's a really cool film. It's a little long, 2 hours and 6 minutes, a little long, but it's pretty good. And if you're looking for celebrity nudity, oh my God, Jennifer Jason Leigh. She has never looked more adorable, and she is just beautiful, and she takes off her clothes, all of her clothes, several times in this movie. Full frontal nudity, way to go, Jennifer Jason Leigh. Probably her best screen nudity is in this movie. So if you're a fan of Miss Leigh, like I am, you want to watch Flesh Plus Blood. So anyway, check it out. I know this is available on Blu-ray now. I'll leave a link to that down below if you're interested in it. And you should get that because it's a cool film. I like it. You'll like it too. Watch it. Leave some comments. Flesh and Blood. Watch it. Bye.